तो कैसे हैं आप लोग?
Hello everyone, we are from first year BDS, batch B, table number 4. We are here to represent our topic submandibular region. Let's see, we are starting here. Submandibular region is one of the most important region of body. It is located below and under the cover of body of mandible. It extends up to the mylohyoid line and below up to the hyoid bone. The deep structure in the region includes floor of mouth and root of tongue. In superficial structures, it includes both submandibular and submental triangle. In the clinical correlation, it is common site for swelling due to enlargement of submandibular lymph node and submandibular salivary gland. The inflammatory edema of floor of mouth in this region cause generalized swelling of the region. Now, in the structures, first of all, superficial structures, it is crossed superficially by platysma in superficial fascia. It has marginal mandibular nerve deep to platysma which crosses the lower border of mandible near the angle of mandible and run below it, which cross submandibular region and supplies depressor of lower lip and mentalis muscle. So, the surgical incisions are therefore not made along the lower border of mandible to avoid injury to this nerve. The great auricular nerve crosses the posterior belly of digastric on its way to supply the skin of face and auricle. Here we have this model for superficial structure of submandibular region. This is mandible. It has muscles which are the anterior belly of digastric, posterior belly of digastric. It is also the anterior belly of digastric. These are mylohyoid muscle. Between them there is median fibrous raphe. These are hyoglossus muscle and this one is stylohyoid muscle. Now there is superficially the superficial part of submandibular gland. These are submandibular lymph node, submental lymph node. There are nerve and blood vessels. In the nerve there is greater auricular nerve, marginal mandibular branch of facial nerve or mylohyoid nerve and vessels. This is facial vein, anterior division of retromandibular vein. This one is facial artery and the submental artery. So this is about superficial structures. Now let's see the deep structures in submandibular region. It has muscles. So in the muscles there are suprahyoid and extrinsic muscle of tongue. Namely suprahyoid muscles are digastric, stylohyoid, mylohyoid and geniohyoid. In extrinsic muscle of tongue there is hyoglossus, styloglossus and genioglossus. They all are divided in 4 muscular plane accordingly, which we'll see later on. And there is submandibular and sublingual salivary gland. There is also facial and lingual arteries, submandibular ganglion and lingual, hypoglossal and glossopharyngeal nerves.
Suprahyoid muscles. Suprahyoid muscles are digastric, stylohyoid, mylohyoid and geniohyoid. There are 4 muscular planes. First muscular plane contains digastric and stylohyoid muscle. Second muscular plane contains mylohyoid muscle. Third muscular plane contains geniohyoid and hypoglossous muscle. Fourth muscular plane contains genioglossus muscle. Now let's start with first muscular plane, digastric muscle. It has 2 bellies united by an intermediate tendon. Now let's see the relations of posterior belly of digastric. Superficial relation: mastoid process with longissimus capitis, plenus capitis and sternocleidomastoid. Second, parotid gland with retromandibular vein, and third, submandibular salivary gland. Deep relations. First, transverse process of atlas with rectus capitis lateralis and superior oblique muscle. Then internal carotid artery, external carotid artery, accessory nerve, vagus nerve, and hypoglossal nerve. Origin. Anterior belly is originated from digastric fossa. Posterior belly, it is originated from mastoid notch of temporal bone. Insertion. Both heads meet at intermediate tendon which perforates stylohyoid and is held by fibrous pulley to hyoid bone. Nerve supply. Anterior belly of digastric is supplied by the nerve to mylohyoid. Posterior belly is supplied by facial nerve. Actions. Anterior belly. It depresses mandible when mouth is opened widely or against resistance. Posterior belly, it elevates hyoid bone. Stylohyoid muscle. It is a small muscle, lies on the upper border of posterior belly of digastric. Its origin is posterior surface of styloid process. Insertion junction of body and greater cornu of hyoid bone. Nerve supply, it is supplied by facial nerve. Actions, it pulls hyoid bone upwards and backwards. Second, with other hyoid muscle, it fixes hyoid bone. Now, second muscular plane contains mylohyoid muscle. It is flat triangular muscle. Two mylohyoids form floor of the mouth cavity deep to anterior belly of digastric. Its origin is mylohyoid line of mandible. Insertion. Posterior fibers are inserted in body of hyoid bone and middle and anterior fibers are inserted into median raphe between mandible and hyoid bone. Nerve supply. It is supplied by the nerve to mylohyoid. Actions. It elevates floor of mouth in first stage of deglutition and second helps in depression of mandible and elevation of hyoid bone. This is the figure showing mylohyoid muscle dividing gland into two parts. Relations of mylohyoid. Superficially, it is related to anterior belly of digastric, superficial part of submandibular salivary gland and mylohyoid nerve and vessels. Deep hypoglossus muscle with its superficial relation and genioglossus muscle with its superficial relation.
Here we are going to address the third muscular plane and fourth muscular plane, in which we are going to study about four muscles: geniohyoid muscle, hyoglossus muscle, stylohyoid muscle, and in fourth muscular plane we are going to study about genioglossus muscle. So here we are starting from the geniohyoid muscle. In figure we can see the origin and insertion of the geniohyoid muscle. It is a short and narrow muscle, lies medial part of mylohyoid. Its origin is a mental spine, or you can say genial tubercle. Its fibers then runs backwards and downwards. The fibers then inserted at anterior surface of body of hyoid bone, and nerve supplies from C1 fibers through hypoglossal nerve. It has two actions. It elevates the hyoid bone and thus shortens the floor of the mouth, and they may depress mandible when hyoid bone is fixed. Now we are going to study about hyoglossus. It is a muscle of tongue. It is an important landmark in this region. It is originated from whole length of greater cornea and lateral part of body of hyoid bone. Fibers are running upwards and forwards. Its fibers are inserted at side of the tongue between styloglossus and inferior longitudinal muscle of tongue. It is supplied by hypoglossal nerve, and it has actions for depressed tongue, makes dorsal convex and retracts the protruded tongue. Now we are going to study about relations of hyoglossus. The hyoglossus, a quadrilateral sheet of muscle, is the key muscle of the suprahyoid region because it serves as a landmark from neighboring structures in the region. Therefore, its relations are very important to surgeons. Now we are going to study about deep relations of hyoglossus. The deep relations of the hyoglossus are as follows. First of all, inferior longitudinal muscle of tongue. Second one is genioglossus muscle anteriorly. Third one is middle constrictor of pharynx posteriorly. Fourth one is glossopharyngeal nerve, and fifth one is lingual artery. Now we are going to study about structure passing deep to border of hyoglossus, in which from above downwards, the first of all glossopharyngeal nerve, second one is stylohyoid ligament, and third one is lingual artery. Now we are going to study about superficial relations of hyoglossus muscle. The first of all, hypoglossal nerve crosses the lower part of muscle from behind forwards. Second one is lingual nerve crosses the upper part of muscle from behind forwards. Third one is deep part of the submandibular gland and submandibular duct. The gland lies in the middle of hyoglossus muscle and the duct lies between the gland and the muscle. Fourth one is submandibular ganglion lies between the lingual nerve and deep part of the submandibular gland. Fifth one is styloglossus muscle integrates with hyoglossus, and sixth one is mylohyoid muscle overlaps the hyoglossus muscle. Now we are going to study about styloglossus muscle. In figure we can see the origin and insertion of the muscle. It originates from front of tip styloid process and adjoining part of stylohyoid ligaments. The fibers run forwards to be inserted it into the whole length of side of tongue, interdigitating with the fibers of hyoglossus muscle. It is supplied by hypoglossal nerve. Actions we can see the retracts the tongue upwards and backwards, so it is antagonist to genioglossus. Along with its counterpart of opposite side, it forms a median gutter on the dorsum of tongue for the passage of food. Now we are going to study about fourth muscular plane, in which we are going to study about genioglossus muscle. In figure we can see the insertion and origin of the muscle. It is the bulkiest muscle of tongue. It is fan-shaped muscle, originates from the upper genial tubercle of mandible. Fibers are radiated. Its upper fibers pass upwards and forwards to tip of tongue, middle fibers along the whole of length of dorsum, lower fibers into body of hybrid. Nerve supply, hypoglossal nerve, and its pull posterior part of tongue forwards, for example protrude tongue. It is a life-saving muscle.
Hello guys, roll number 86. The subject of the blood vessel of the submandibular region, arteries. The arteries supplying the submandibular regions are the facial artery and second lingual artery. The facial artery enters the submandibular region by passing deep to digastric and stylohyoid muscle, turns forward above the muscles to reach the deep aspect of the angle of the mandible. Now it first hooks around the posterior superior aspect of the submandibular gland, descends between the lateral surface of the gland. Hypoglossal nerve, external carotid artery, lingual artery deep to hyoglossus, branches of submandibular gland and sublingual gland. Second also lingual artery. Lingual artery. The lingual artery, after forming a U-shaped above the tip of a greater corner of a hyoid bone, runs forward deep to the hyoglossus above the hyoid bone and arises to two dorsal lingual arteries, which supply posterior one-third of a tongue and tonsil. Veins. The veins present in the submandibular regions are as follows. The first vena comitans nerve hypoglossi. These two veins run along the hypoglossal nerve. Second vena comitans. These two veins accompany the lingual artery and run deep to the hyoglossus muscle. All of the above from four veins join to form the lingual vein, which drains into the common facial or internal jugular vein. Second topic is the nerve of the submandibular region. Submandibular region ની અંદર lingual nerve diagram. The feature of the internal aspect of the right half of the body of mandible. Lingual nerve arises from a posterior division of mandible. Posterior division of the mandibular nerve and descend between the ramus of mandible and medial pterygoid muscle. It inclines forward and enters the mouth by passing inferior to the lower border of the superior contraction of the pharynx. Now it enters the submandibular region by passing just behind and inferior to the third molar tooth between medial surface of the mandible and the mucous membrane of the gum. The topic of the in the position, it is liable to be injured by the clumsy extraction of the adjustment tooth and it is assembled to local anesthetics. First, lingual nerve, mandibular foramen, lateriopetrigal, auriculotemporal nerve, inferior alveolar nerve, temporalis mandible, the posterior position. First, lingual nerve. Second, hypoglossal nerve. Hypoglossal nerve diagram. Hypoglossal diagram. The hypoglossal nerve runs forward, crosses internal carotid artery, external carotid artery and loop of lingual before enters the submandibular region by passing deep to the posterior belly of digastric muscle. It continues its course forward and upward on the hyoglossus and then on the genioglossus to enter the tongue. Third, glossopharyngeal nerve. Glossopharyngeal nerve, before entering the submandibular region, descend on the medial side of the stylopharyngeal muscles, curves around its lower border to run forwards on its lateral side and supplies it. Hypopharyngeal nerve. The hypopharyngeal nerve is a external carotid artery and internal carotid artery, loop of a lingual artery and a lower stemmed branch of occipital artery. Thank you guys. I hope you understand.
Sublingual gland. This is smallest of the three pairs of the large salivary glands. It lies in the floor of the mouth between the mucous membrane and the mylohyoid muscle. It is almond-shaped and rests in the sublingual fossa of the mandible. This is sublingual gland. It is mostly mucous in nature and weighs about 3 to 4 grams. The gland pours its secretion by a series of ducts, about 15 in number, into the oral cavity on the sublingual fold, but a few of them open into the submandibular duct. Blood supply. The gland is supplied by the sublingual and submental arteries. Lymphatic drainage. The lymphatics from the sublingual gland drain into the submental and submandibular lymph nodes. Submandibular ganglion. It is a parasympathetic ganglion which serves as a relay station for secretomotor fibers supplying the submandibular and sublingual salivary glands. Submandibular ganglion is also known as Langlius ganglion. Topographically, it is connected to the trigeminal nerve, that is also known as lingual nerve, but functionally it is related to the facial nerve through its coda tympani branch. This is lingual nerve and this is facial nerve. Location. This ganglion is of the size of a pinhead and situated on the outer surface of the hyoglossus muscle. It is suspended from the lingual nerve by two twigs. The proximal twig is afferent to the ganglion and the distal root is efferent to the ganglion. Relations. Above, lingual nerve. Below, deep part of the submandibular gland. Medially, it is connected to the hyoglossus muscle. Laterally, submandibular gland. Laterally means superficial part, this one. Roots. The submandibular ganglion has three roots: parasympathetic, sympathetic and sensory. Parasympathetic root. It is derived from the lingual nerve. The preganglionic fibers arise from the superior salivatory nucleus situated in pons and pass successively through facial nerve, coda tympani and lingual nerves to reach the ganglion where they relay. The postganglionic fibers arise from the ganglion and directly supply the gland. Comparison between parotid, submandibular and sublingual glands. Location. Parotid is situated near the ear, submandibular below the mandible and sublingual below the tongue. Development. Parotid gland is ectodermal, rest of two are endodermal. Parotid is largest whereas sublingual is smallest. Their shape. Parotid gland is pyramidal shaped, submandibular is J shaped and sublingual is almond shaped. Their opening into the oral cavity. Parotid gland opens into the vestibule of oral cavity. Parotid duct opens into the vestibule or oral cavity opposite the second upper molar tooth. This is important. Now submandibular. It opens into the floor of the oral cavity proper on summit of sublingual papilla at the side of frenulum of the tongue. Opens into the floor of the oral cavity proper on summit of sublingual papilla at the side of frenulum of tongue. This sublingual series of ducts, that is 15, opens into the floor of the oral cavity proper on the sublingual fold. Now their secretions, nature of secretions. It is serous in nature, parotid gland. Submandibular gland is both serous and mucus, and sublingual is mucus in nature. Okay guys, thank you.